Why is it that after a woman gets pregnant, it seems like the connection to the soul of her baby fades? Could it be deep-rooted survival instincts that's passed down through generations that just says that pregnancy is physical instead of an undeniable non-physical presence? Is it that medical science has conditioned us that it only exists when it can be measured and seen and controlled, or seen on an ultrasound, and otherwise it doesn't exist? Or is it that women have been trained to hand over their power to doctors and protocols and the medical system and not learn to trust their inner knowing? Is it that it seems like pregnancy is something that happens to the body instead of like a sacred co-creation with a soul that wants to incarnate, that wants to be embodied? Or is it that women believe that they have done their job once they have conceived, and they don't realize that this soul is still arriving, it's still integrating, it's still wanting to connect to you? Or is it just because the external world takes over and there is no space for the internal world? There is just the protocols and the scans and the doctor's appointments and the dietary restrictions and the baby registries and the things you need to buy and just this chaos, and there is no space for inner stillness. Fear creeps in, and it is just the fear of loss, the fear of miscarriage, the fear of something going wrong or complications, that it somehow is easier to not connect to the soul of the baby. Or could it be that the baby's presence is just less tangible than before conception? So it's easier to dismiss all the nudges and the whispers and the feelings and the flickers and the light and the sensations, and just to see them as part of your body instead of really the presence of the soul. Could it be that in the year 2025 that pregnancy is still a medical procedure, and that the fact that it is a spiritual passage, that it is a soul incarnating, is still an afterthought? Or is it just that a lifetime of being disconnected from the unseen just makes it so clear to stay disconnected from the unseen and to really trust that they're speaking to you? Could it just be that women have been so conditioned to separate body, mind, and spirit? Pregnancy is a symphony of all three of them. It is a symphony of your mind. It's a symphony of your spirit, the spirit of the soul of your baby, and your body. Hormonal changes, the physical changes, that it creates like this mental fog. Or is it the expectations from society? Is it all the baby showers and all the planning that just makes it such an outward thing and pulls you away from going inward? Or is it just pain and past traumas and patterns in the mother that make it impossible to connect to the soul of your baby? Or could it be that the medical world does not acknowledge or even honor the role of the soul in pregnancy, and making women really doubt themselves? Or could it be that a woman's own birth story is playing a role in the background, subtly shaping the way she allows the soul of her baby in? Could it just be that women have been taught to rely on others, on doulas, on midwives, on doctors? They are the portal through which this soul enters. Or is it that we just have collectively forgotten that birth is like a spiritual descent? It is not a biological event. Could it be along the lines of our spiritual evolution that we just stopped listening to our baby?